Hello, everybody, and welcome to GravityKit Live, our first live call of 2026. I'm Zach Katz, founder of GravityKit.
Hey everyone, I'm Casey. I'm in charge of marketing and operations here at GravityKit.
Yeah, and I'm excited to talk to y'all today because we have a lot to go through of really cool product updates. But I don't think we've had a chance to talk to people since we launched our new website, Casey.
Yeah, absolutely. You may have noticed if you've been to the GravityKit site recently that we have a whole new design. Everything's been overhauled. It's been a big project, and we are super excited to have this new site.
Yeah, and we've been working with the filter agency over in jolly old England, and they've done a great job of taking our designs and bringing them to life. We're really thrilled by how it's turned out, and we're excited to be able to iterate a lot more because I don't know if y'all know, but it's important to have a good, flexible website.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of our goals was just to make our various resources and things more discoverable. And so we think we've achieved that with these nice mega menus. You can really see, or you can navigate around our blog, case studies, support, live demos. Everything's really easy to find. We even like featuring different build it guides here and things like that. So all the kind of important resources, important pages are much easier to find, and a lot of our content has been. We've worked a lot on our content as well to improve things. So yeah, we're really excited about this new site. And if anybody has any feedback, feel free to share it with us.
Yeah, and we have one more stage to go on the website where we're going to be bringing our documentation from docs.gravitykit.com onto our website at gravitykit.com. So uh, at that point, all of our documentation, all of our how-to guides, all of our case studies, everything is going to be on our website, searchable all at once. Casey, can you demonstrate the search? Because that's one of the improvements that I think we should highlight. We now have search powered by Algolia, which results in much better search results that aren't like exact match, they're fuzzy match, so it's a lot better search results.
Yeah, exactly. The search is a lot more powerful now. You can see I just typed something in, and you can see it looks through our different popular posts and blog posts and pages. So it's really easy to kind of navigate and find things that you're looking for, especially because we have hundreds of blog posts on our site, and a lot of them are very helpful tutorials and things like that. So it's really important that they're easy to find, especially if you have a use case that you're looking to get more information on. You can just put it in the search, and we probably have some resources for it.
Yeah, so check out our website, not right now, but later, gravitykit.com. And also, if you're watching live, make sure to leave a comment, ask us questions. We are live for a reason, and that is to talk to you. So please uh, ask questions on YouTube or wherever you're watching the channel. We should be streaming on LinkedIn and on X and Facebook. So please get in touch. We're happy to answer your questions.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
hello, Playa Be Sweetness. Good to see you, Playa.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. And yeah, before we hop off the new site, I did want to just highlight a new case study that we recently published, which was a really exciting one. And this was a case study with Princeton University, and specifically their music department that has adopted GravityKit recently to help manage their student equipment and IT records. And Zach, you got to sit down and chat with Michael Langley from Princeton.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, he was really impressed with GravityKit, and he's doing some great stuff, isn't he?
Michael's been great to work with, and it's really wonderful. Like I suggested after we talked about how he's using GravityView, I said, "Hey, Michael, do you know about Gravity Board?" And he was like, "Wait, what?" So now he's getting on board with Gravity Board, and he's excited about all the functionality that that's going to bring. So they're going to be able to replace more software that they've been using and paying for every month per seat. All this money and all this time that they've been investing in some other platforms, they're going to be able to consolidate onto their WordPress website using GravityKit plugins. And I don't know about you, but like Princeton University, if you don't know, Einstein taught there, taught math there, but also Zack grew up in Princeton for a few years. So I am
No
especially
way.
proud to have Princeton University represented as a GravityKit customer.
Oh, I did not know that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those institutions that's just so well known around the world, and yeah, it's just awesome that they're using our tools. Michael said that he really loves GravityView, and it's actually evolved his job and abilities. So it's allowed him to accomplish more in his role, which is awesome, and that's exactly what we want. That's the kind of outcome we want for people who are using GravityKit plugins.
Yeah, and if anybody who's watching wants to talk to me and have a consultation call, we can go over what your flow is currently, and we can talk about how to integrate GravityKit products with what you're currently doing. I think it's really valuable to have a conversation about, like, what are your processes? How can we help you optimize them? And if that's not GravityKit related, I know a lot of other software as well. So hit me up for a free consultation at TidyCal. I will put the link in the banner soon. I'll put that up now.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Yeah, gravitykit.com/consultation is the URL. So hit me up. I'm happy to talk to you, and let's have a conversation.
Yeah, and I can see Ken Kramer in the chat. Hi, Ken. Thanks
Hey,
for
Ken.
joining us.
All right. So we don't have just one new website, Casey. We also have another new website called gravitykit.dev. So
Yes.
one of the problems that we've had, or one of the things that is an evolving struggle when you have many software products, is making sure that your documentation remains updated. And we've long had to, we've done a great job internally at GravityKit for our development team to take the time to, whenever we write a new filter, or have it so that you can tap into a filter using WordPress core functionality, have developer hooks that modify the output of GravityView or Gravity charts or something. Like, you can do tons of modifications to GravityKit plugins if you're a developer. But part of the problem is that you wouldn't know about them unless you downloaded the code. And keeping a live documentation site updated is really difficult unless you have something that does that automatically. And so that's what we put together, which is gravitykit.dev. Now all of the hooks for all of our products, anytime they're updated, the hooks will be live updated on gravitykit.dev. You can browse the site, see a list of all the different hooks that are available for each plugin. And we're in the process of improving this, but we're also optimizing it for LLMs and AI, so that your AI will be able to access the LLMs.txt file and understand better each one of our plugins hooks, and know exactly what types of variables to return and stuff like that. So if you're a developer, check out gravitykit.dev. If you're not a developer, point your AI to gravitykit.dev and it'll figure out the rest.
Yeah, that's such a great point. I mean, this is such a incredibly useful tool for developers, but also for AIs now, that they're able to write such good quality code.
Yeah, and one of the things that I did, and is I also ran this through on Gravity Forms. So under products, Casey, if you go to Gravity Forms, it's not one of our products, but it should be
Go
there.
back to the home page. Let's see.
Maybe that's just my internal branch. Yeah, maybe I haven't pushed that yet. I ran that for Gravity Forms as well, because Gravity Forms has its own documentation site. They have great documentation for all the filters and hooks and stuff. But I figured it would be really helpful for the AIs to have additional context, and I didn't want to have the AIs go back and forth between two different websites. So I ran the hooks generation tool on Gravity Forms as well, and check for that. Go to gravitykit.dev right now, but also we're going to keep on iterating on this and trying to make it more and more useful for AIs and developers moving forward.
Awesome. Yeah, and if anybody has any questions on anything we've discussed so far, feel free to leave them in the chat. We will address those. And just before we move on from announcements and news, just wanted to quickly highlight that Gravity Forms have released their advanced post-creation add-on version 1.6. And it's got some nice new features, including the ability to actually edit posts, which is really cool. I think this is something people have been wanting for a while. So you can see there's a new post-editing settings tab here in the post-creation feed settings, where you can actually configure this option, and people are able to actually edit the post itself by editing the form entry, as I understand it.
Yeah, it's a great update, and it's a powerful add-on, that advanced post creation. And if you haven't used it before, check it out if you have access to it, because it's a lot more powerful than adding the specific post fields, which is the normal way to do it in Gravity Forms. I highly recommend using advanced post creation instead, because it gives you a lot more flexibility and a lot more clarity for what's about to happen, as opposed to when you add the post fields to your form, it's kind of unclear. But it's a great way to set it up using APC, which is the internal way they reference it.
Yeah, totally. And I've played around with this a lot. I really like advanced post creation. It's a great add-on. All right. With all of that said, should we move on to some GravityKit product updates, Zach?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. So this was one that went out at the end of last year, but I wanted to quickly just highlight it again. And this is our advanced elemental widget for GravityView. And the reason I wanted to highlight this is because, this is something we're actively working on, is improving our page builder support, specifically for GravityView, to make it easier to style your views using the various page builders that you are accustomed to. So our advanced elemental widget went out towards the end of last year. And yeah, we've done a few demos. You can find those on our YouTube channel. But it's really powerful, and essentially allows you to customize every aspect of your view using the Elemental builder with all of the kind of preset style options and things like that Elemental supports. You can get really granular. You can do it all using the Elemental visual interface. So definitely check out our demos on our YouTube channel if you haven't seen this. But the reason I wanted to highlight this is because I know we are currently working on supporting additional page builders as well. And that's going to be something really exciting for 2026.
Yeah, so we are, in addition to our advanced Elementor integration, we're going to include a standard basic integration with GravityView for all GravityView customers, even those not with GravityView Pro. So if you just have GravityView, we're going to be coming out with Elementor widgets for embedding views with some, so you don't have to use shortcodes anymore. One of our goals for 2026 is to make it a lot easier to build an app with GravityKit products without having to rely on shortcodes and be able to just do things visually, because things are too complex. And I totally acknowledge that. And the team understands that. And we're all working toward making your life easier, where instead of embedding and configuring shortcodes, you can add a widget or add a block and get what you need done. So
Yeah,
Elementor widget, Divi widget, Beaver Builder widget. Those are three of the ones that we're currently working on. And please shout out us at support@gravitykit.com. Maybe don't shout, but email us and let us know what page builder you would like us to support.
awesome. So another product that we've been working on a lot recently is GravityImport. And this is a really popular product of ours, Zack, and it essentially allows you, it fills a hole in Gravity Forms, which is that there's no option by default to import data into Gravity Forms. You can only export. So GravityImport allows you to do that. It's been a very popular product, but recently we've added a lot of enhancements to it, and I think this will be an exciting one to demo.
Yeah, and GravityImport, we've got even bigger updates planned for GravityImport in the coming out soon, including background processing, which I'll announce it now. We're getting close to being done with background processing so that you can leave the page while it's importing and you don't have to leave it open. So that's an exciting update that we're going to be bringing out to GravityImport, GravityMigrate, and some of our other plugins as well. So stay tuned for that. But one of the things with GravityImport that is really frustrating it currently is that when there are errors, they're not always exposed, they're not always clear. Configuration can be hard because we have a horizontal scrolling, which makes sense because it aligns with how spreadsheets look in Excel and Google Sheets and stuff, but it doesn't always represent the easiest way to map the fields. So we've really taken a look at how to improve the field mapping experience. And I think we've made a big update that makes it a lot easier, makes errors clearer before you even start the process. I'm excited to show it. So Casey, let's take a look at what we've been doing.
Yeah, let's take a look. So I'll just run an import here, and then we can see what the new kind of interface and flow looks like. So I'm going to go to the import entries screen here, and I'm going to grab one of my CSV files, and I'm going to just drag and drop it in there. And then we'll create a new form based on the data in this CSV, just for this example. And I can just give it any name, continue with import. And now we come to the field mapping step of the process. And this is where things look a little different. But this is where we've made a lot of improvements as well. So like Zack was saying, we've now got a horizontal layout. So you can see the columns here on the left, and then all of the rows here. And this makes it a lot easier to kind of see how many columns you're dealing with. You can easily map fields here by just selecting the field type in Gravity Forms. And then, of course, you can scroll through these preview columns or preview rows. And what you'll notice is that rows with errors, not only do you have the column here in red indicating there is an issue here, the specific rows also highlighted here in yellow, and you can see, for example, this is an issue because this says invalid email, and this is being mapped to an email field, and of course that's not a valid email address. So a lot of these issues are highlighted, and it makes it a lot easier to kind of debug things and understand what you're working with, so that you can fix your CSV and make sure that you have a clean import. And then, like Zack was saying, the auto mapping has been improved a lot. So you'll notice I imported that CSV. I didn't do anything else. And the importer automatically detected the different field types that I'm working with here. So it saw that I'm using a lot of email addresses here. It's mapped this already to an email field for me. It's mapped the age field to a number field in Gravity Forms. That's great. It's mapped my phone field. Everything is sort of auto mapped, and I might just have to come in here and change one or two things, but for the most part, it's pretty accurate. And then let's say I came here and I changed this to a different field type. Well, I now have the option to go back and run the auto map again. So essentially, this will kind of reset things, and it'll auto map things again for me. And you can see there is a little warning to say, if you do run this auto map again, you will lose the mapping changes that you made previously. But I think that's a really cool enhancement. And then, Zack, we also have this really nice kind of summary of the various validation errors that were found in the CSV. And this is super helpful because not only does it tell you the column, where the error was found, it tells you the kind of error that you're working with here, and then it gives you a sample value that was failing, so you can kind of see an example of that actual issue.
Yeah, and one of the things that was hard in the past is, let's say you have a form with 100 fields, which Many of our customers do. People have long forms. You would have an error in the middle of a form, and it would be hard to understand what needs to be modified and why. But Casey, we added a really cool little button that says, show only columns with errors at the top of the validations errors box. And if
Right.
you click that button, now only the columns that have errors are shown, so you can fix the configurations until the errors are resolved. So one of the cool things that you can do is um, say, by the way, I know what I'm doing. It's okay. These are not actually errors, or I want to skip these in the next step. And we have provided a way to do that as well with a continue with errors checkbox. And that allows you to say, yes, this isn't a valid email, but in the next step, I'm going to conditionally import and say, skip all the rows that have n/a for not available for numbers, for example. Or if you have a consistently formatted thing like invalid email, then you can skip that in the next step while you're configuring your import. So if you check conditional import
Right.
now, you can now exclude the file, the rows that are not, that contain invalid values.
Yeah, and that's a great point because sometimes it is easy to handle those issues just using the conditional import option. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are committed to making this a better process. So if you if you like what you see and you want some additional functionality added, or some like a use case that really gets your goat every time you try to import, let us know. Anytime you get frustrated with any of our products, let us know, and we want to make it better. And we are really psyched about the enhancements we're doing with GravityImport. And it seems like Ken is also very excited. So thank you, Ken. He says, wow, big change for the better and very nice enhancements.
Awesome. That's great to hear. And yeah, we really think this is a big improvement over the current functionality.
So Casey, could you show how we rename a column? So by default, the name of the column is the name of the CSV column. But if you want to change the name of the imported column to have a different field name when it's imported, how do you do that?
Well, just click on it here, and yeah, you can adjust the name. And this is actually really cool because there are a lot of times when you would want to do this, and it's a hassle to have to go back and edit your CSV file.
Mm-hmm. And it shows the original name of the CSV column, so you don't forget what the what the CSV column was. And like we've had in
Yeah,
the
that's
past,
great.
when you refresh this page, all the current state remains intact. So if you by accident refresh the page, your field mapping will be configured exactly the way it already is, and you won't lose any field mapping settings. It'll ask you first if you want to resume, and when you click resume, it will remember your place, including the custom field name that you just chose.
Yeah, that's really nice. And often that happens, right? You like click something on the menu by mistake, whatever, and you get taken away from the page. It's really nice to be able to just come back and have everything
Yeah,
restored.
and how do you choose to not import fields? Because before we had a drop down. In the drop down, we had a value that said "do not import," and that was the way you did it before.
Right. So this is changed to a checkbox here, and obviously this allows you to select or deselect all, and then you can deselect certain columns if you don't want those to be imported.
Mhm. So we feel like we've made some big enhancements to GravityImport. Uh, we're not done. Let us know what you'd like to see next. But I'm really excited to get this out there. I think it's gonna. It's already made my life easier whenever I've used GravityImport, and I can't wait for our customers to use it, Casey.
Yeah, I totally agree. So Zach, the all important question: when do you think this might be released?
Well, it's currently under review. It's either this week or next week. Is what we're planning. So
Awesome. Yeah.
that is either Thursday the 22nd of January or Thursday the 29th of January.
Cool. Well, yeah. Keep an eye out for that, everybody. We will have updates going out in the newsletter as usual. So if you're not subscribed to the newsletter, do subscribe to that. It's at gravitykit.com/newsletter, and you'll get all our product updates every week. Okay, awesome. So we had a few more updates go out that I think are worth highlighting. We had a update for GravityView that went out recently, which added custom code placeholders, which I think is really cool. And then we also had an update for GravityEdit that added support for survey fields. And I thought we could quickly run through those.
Sounds good. And for all y'all watching live, please ask any questions that you have. We're happy to answer them, whether or not it's related to what we're talking about.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so Zack, so custom code placeholders. So we have in the view editor, and this is an update for GravityView. In the view editor, you have the ability to add custom code to that specific view, and you can add CSS code here in this box. You can also add JavaScript code, and we've now added these placeholders, which just make it easier to like target specific views.
Yeah, before it was really complicated to explain to a customer who reached out to us for support about how to give the correct CSS selector for a view. When they want to make customizations to a view, we had to, I don't know, give them complicated instructions for finding the right view selector and then, pasting it into custom CSS field. Instead, they can just use, you can all use this placeholder now that automatically gives you a very specific selector that makes it so you don't have to figure out how to narrow down the CSS selector for your view. You can just use view_selector, all caps, and it'll automatically be replaced by a specific CSS selector, which means you don't have to use the important tag in CSS. You don't have to figure out anything. You just use the placeholder. It makes it a lot easier. And it also prevents you from adding CSS that might pollute the rest of your website. For example, in this custom code that you have here, Casey, it shows the IMG tag, the image tag, saying max width. If you didn't have the view selector there, that would change all the image tags on the page that your view is either embedded on or the landing page for the view custom post type. So it's a best practice now to use view selector, and we also added additional placeholders just in case you need them for your JavaScript or your CSS.
Yeah, that's really cool. And for someone like me who's not a CSS pro, this is definitely helpful. So to find out more about this, we have a doc here, which is called Adding Custom CSS to Your Views. You can find it on our doc site. And if you scroll down, there is a section here on using placeholders in custom CSS. And this just runs through the available placeholders. Like Zack was mentioning, the view_selector. There's also one for view ID and for Gravity Forms form ID. And then there's some examples here, and you can kind of see how those work. So yeah, definitely, if you're adding a lot of custom styles to your views and things like that, definitely check this out. And yeah, I think this is a nice update.
Yep, and we are going to be implementing a ton of quality of life updates like this in 2026. Just making every little part of every one of our plugins better. That's the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, we had a really nice update go out for GravityEdit. So GravityEdit allows you to edit Gravity Forms entries inline on the entry screen without having to actually click into each entry. Makes things a lot faster, a lot easier. And we've just recently added support for survey fields. Gravity Forms survey fields can be in different, lots of different formats. You can have like a ratings field like this, like a star rating. You can have a ranking, right? So you can rank things by just dragging and dropping them. You can also have Likert like this, where you choose a value here. So all of these, GravityEdit now supports all of these fields. and I'll just run through a quick example. So you can see these are the responses to my survey. And you can see I'm just on the entry screen here. And if I enable inline edit, then I can just click on these fields and I can edit them directly here. And you can see this is the star rating field. So we can adjust that here, update it. We can do the same here with a like it. And it's super simple, super easy, super quick. And it works with the ranking type as well. I can adjust that here. And yeah, so GravityEdit now supports all of the different GravityView survey field types, which will hopefully, for those running surveys out there, hopefully this will make your life a bit easier.
Yeah, and we have an exciting update to GravityEdit coming soon as well. A bigger update. So we're super psyched to have the survey results. That's one of the biggest requests that we've had for GravityEdit from customers. But we've also got, while Vlad was working on reviewing the code for this update, and he was like, I really wish it were better in terms of the way that the code structure was. So we've got a big update coming to GravityEdit that makes it better across the board, including for accessibility, including for speed, like so many different reasons. It's going to be a big update to GravityEdit. But even so, this GravityEdit update for survey fields, huge in terms of adding functionality. And just a reminder, GravityEdit doesn't only work with Gravity Forms entry screen, it also works when you have it enabled in GravityView. So GravityView views can integrate with the inline edit, and you can edit entries directly from the front end of your application.
Yeah, that's a great point. So yeah, definitely adds a lot of power to GravityEdit. I'm really excited to see this update go out. And there's another update that went out recently for our GravityView Magic Links extension. Zach, do you want to quickly explain how Magic Links works, and then I'll talk about what's changed in the recent update?
Yeah, sure. So Magic Links, so often you have an application that's built using form data with GravityView and GravityKit, and you want people to update entries with GravityView that they have submitted. So I submit my homework assignment, let's just say. But if I want to make an edit to my homework assignment, what do I do? In GravityView before Magic Links, you would have to have a user account, and you would have to be logged in to that user account while you created that entry. Otherwise, the entry wouldn't be connected to the user account, and you'd have to ask the administrator to update the entry to be connected to that user account. Magic Links, as long as you have an email field, you can configure Magic Links so that the person who submits the entry will receive an email, they click the email, and they automatically get access to editing the entry. And
without logging in.
Without logging in. No login needed, no user account needed. As long as the entry email matches the email that was sent to, you're good. And we had a customer who asked, how do I allow people to delete entries without being logged in?
Right.
So Casey, what did we end up doing?
Yeah, so we've now added that functionality into Magic Links. So if you're in the View editor, the Magic Links settings are all here down in the View settings. If you have the extension installed, and once you enable Magic Links, you'll see various options here to configure them. And like Zach mentioned, we've added a new option. Here it is: allow entry deletion. So if you check that, not only can users update or edit their entries, they also have the ability to actually delete them. Yeah, so I think that's a really, really nice enhancement. And then I believe we also added this checkbox recently, Zach, for one-time access. So
Right.
previously you would just set an expiration on the link. So for example, if that was like 30 minutes, then the link would be invalid after 30 minutes. It would only be valid for that time frame. Now you have the ability to check one-time access, which means regardless of the time frame, once the users actually made an update via that link, that link expires and it's no longer valid.
Yeah, one-time access is a great security enhancement. If you're worried about security, even just a 30-minute window could be a problem if you have an application that has stricter requirements than that. So one-time access in magic links in GravityView to edit Gravity Forms entries without needing to log in. And can you show how the new functionality to delete an entry, how that works in the notifications screen? So like, how do you actually send these magic links?
Oh yeah, that's a great point. So once you have magic links enabled, you'll see here, whoops, you get to use this GV_magic_link merge tag, and we have some documentation about how this works. But this essentially gets replaced with the magic link, and you can add this into Gravity Forms notifications or confirmations. And I've set up a notification here with the link. So here's my notification email to the user. It says, hey, and then their name. Here's a link to edit your entry. And then I've put in the merge tag here. And all I need to do is just add the view ID parameter. And this is my view ID 287. And that's a valid, I believe that is a valid merge tag that will be replaced with the magic link. But there are additional parameters that you can configure here. So again, if you're interested in using this functionality, you can check out our documentation to get all of the information.
Yeah, and Casey, can you show the drop down under copy page at the top of that doc, just a reminder for people? So just if you have any questions about this stuff, AI is incredible, right? And if you want to talk about how to use this magic link merge tag and you aren't sure exactly what the format should be, just point your AI to this, copy the content as Markdown for LLMs. View it as Markdown. You can give this to your AI and your AI will be able to tell you what the format should be. And that's we want to make sure that our documentation is excellent so that you can get things done without having to, wonder how to do stuff. And if that fails or it still doesn't work, we have excellent human support and we're ready and willing and waiting to help you. So please get in touch.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Cool.
Well, yeah, I think we've covered all the product updates that we wanted to cover in this show. Zach, do you want to talk a little bit about some of the areas that we're going to be focusing on product-wise coming into 2026 and throughout the rest of the year?
Yeah, I do. We've always been focused on helping GravityKit customers get more done easier. And that has kind of led to us going down paths that we didn't plan for, which sometimes we get flooded in support by requests for a specific plugin to have a specific feature. It just kind of aligns magically that we randomly have a bunch of people asking for the same thing all at once, and then that would diverge our focus, and we would build that and then get back to whatever we were working on before. Part of what we're going to be doing in 2026 is we are going to have better internal processes and better and clearer roadmaps. So we are in the process of coming up with a roadmap for 2026 that we plan on making public with Gravity Board. And so you'll be able to see what our focus is on and what updates you can expect. We might not get into the details, but you'll have an overview of we're going to be working a lot on this area of GravityView, for example, or enhancing this aspect of our account page billing. We want to make sure that you understand what we're working on and why. And that also helps us from the GravityKit side, because we will know what we're working on and why, and making sure that all of the team is aligned to make sure that we are providing value for you in everything that we do. And that's more important than ever, I think, is making sure that we are aligned, that whatever we do enhances our customer view, it enhances your ability to get your work done faster and better. So Internal processes is one of the things that we're working on. One of the focuses that we're going to be doing is enhancing your ability to build applications without having to know about shortcodes or merge tags or anything like that. Because I don't want people who are developers to be the only people who can build things that are really complicated and require shortcodes with post ID overrides and all this stuff. None of it matters. What matters is the application that you have in the end, and that application is exactly what you need for your website, for your own website, for your client's website. The outcome is what matters. And we're so laser focused on that this year. And it doesn't matter how you get it done. We need to get it done easier and better and more reliably for you, with less confusion at every step. So that includes better documentation, and that includes rethinking how merge tags are integrated into our products, rethinking how shortcodes are used across our products. The custom content field, people use custom content field for so many things. Why? What can we do better? How can we reduce the reliance on doing some manual coding, essentially using GV logic? That should be easier, and we really want to make that easier. So I'm looking forward to really focusing on stripping out a bunch of the steps it takes to have a successful application build out. And we have some great ideas, and I'm excited about those ideas. One of the ways that we can take the burden off of you for getting your app built is improving our design. GravityKit design isn't as good as it needs to be, and we are aware of that, and we have some design mockups that we are going to be converting into CSS and having as the new base designs. One of the things we haven't wanted to do in the past is to disrupt existing styles, but we recognize the need to make things better and easier to configure. So that's going to happen. A new base style sheet, and we'll have backward compatibility in case you don't want that, because we don't want to mess up any existing overrides that you've got. And I've already mentioned it, but one of the things we're going to be doing is improved page builder support. So Elementor, Divi, Beaver Builder, Avada, I think. But we are committed to having no shortcodes required to embedding any of our plugins. We want to have live preview when available, and those are the bigger initiatives. Some of them, and we have a lot more to come as well as we build out our roadmap specifically.
Yeah, lots of exciting things to come.
So we have a question from Pliabi Sweetness. How can we get in touch for help? I'm not a developer, but I'm trying to help a nonprofit. We purchased GravityKit last week. That is a wonderful question. You can get in touch with help and support by going to, I'm looking at our links here. Let me add the banner. GravityKit.com/support is one way to do it. And that includes our chatbot as well as our live support. So you can access our chatbot and ask it questions. If you still need help, the live support form is just below. Or you can just skip the chatbot if you don't want to deal with chatbots. That's fine. So that's an option. Or if you prefer just writing an email using your email client, you can always email support@gravitykit.com. One of the nice things about using our form is that it auto-populates your customer information, so we don't need to look you up if we have questions about your license key or anything like that. But happy to get in touch, or please get in touch with us. We're happy to help, and we're here. Ken is a sweetheart and says the support team is amazing. Thank you so much, Ken. And we do our best to not just answer your question, but answer the underlying question as well. So like, not just how do I do this, but like, hey, let's take a look at what you're trying to accomplish and how do you accomplish that better? Yeah. So I'll add one more thing that I'm doing I'm focusing on from the support side of things is we want every support interaction to result in a better outcome for our customers. So whenever anybody contacts us, if we don't have documentation that's related to that support request, we want to document that, or we want to update the docs to add the question so that it's answered ahead of time, so that people don't have to, you don't have to take your time to get in touch with us if it's something we could have answered in advance. And a lot of the times that's not possible because applications are complicated, in which case, we're happy to help. And anytime we can answer a question ahead of time, that's on us to do a better job so that you don't have to spend your time asking us the question that should have been answered ahead of time. So in addition to making our applications easier to use, we also want to make our support process way less friction, to have way less friction so that you get your jobs done faster and easier and better. We have a vote for the Avada page builder. Thank you for chiming in, Marco.
Yeah, good to know. All right. Well, we did have some questions that got submitted before the show, so I'm going to go through some of those. I'm not able to fit the full question in on the banner, unfortunately, but I'll read it out here. So the question is, have you all implemented the new multiple choice and image choice fields in Gravity Forms? When I've tried to use them in views, it does weird things like show the original 3 options along with what was replaced. So it sounds like Jonathan having a couple of issues with the couple of newer field types in Gravity Forms, multiple choice and image choice. So the answer is yes. GravityView does support both of those field types. So we added support for the image choice field in version 2.31, I think, which is quite some time ago. And we also support the multiple choice field. In GravityView, you have the option to add them either as a single field, where it'll show all the options in one cell, if it's a table, for example, or you can add them as individual fields. So they'll be like in individual columns. Now, I saw through the question that Jonathan was having some issues here, so I tested this today actually, and I did find an issue with the image choice field. So it seems that there was indeed a bug, but I'm happy to say I reported it, and I think it's already been fixed. So, Jonathan, sorry to hear that you're experiencing issues, but there will be a patch out very soon, I imagine, probably this week, to address those issues. And if not, if you're still experiencing issues, you can always contact our support team, and they will absolutely help you and figure out what's going on there.
Ken previously said, I've used their support frequently and it helped find the bug that got fixed. So that's an example. If something's not working properly, let us know. It might be a bug and we'll fix it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, we had another question come in, which was sort of a 3-part question. So I've actually split it up into individual questions just to make it a bit easier to go through and answer. And this was submitted by Ted. And the first question here is, so the first question is, they are wondering about the suitability of GravityView or GravityKit for a manual process that they're currently running, where they have like an award scheme and things are sent in paper format. And they have an entry process, which is very comprehensive and time-consuming. And essentially, they need to have the ability to work on entries over the course of, say, a month. So it's not just a simple form submit. It's like you need some time to work through it. So you can do that with Gravity Forms. Gravity Forms has a well, first of all, I should say that using Gravity Forms and GravityView to replace a manual paper workflow is ideal. So we have plenty of customers who have done that and have been very happy with the results. That's exactly what Gravity Forms and GravityKit is made for.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that Princeton University did as well. They got rid of a ton of paperwork. And one of the things that, Ted, if you can, take a step back and see what you can do to get rid of all that paper, the manual paper part, because that's painful, man.
Yeah, totally. I mean, Gravity Forms is ideal for capturing data, and GravityKit for helping to manage that data, run reports, do all these kinds of things. it's definitely gonna help automate things and save you a lot of time. So I wanted to address this question on working on an entry over a period of time. So Gravity Forms has a feature called Save and Continue, where you can start filling out a form, and then, you know, if you need to take a break or you have other stuff to do, you can save your progress and then return to it later. And how that works is that you get a special link sent to you. You can have that sent to you on email, or you just get it. And then when you click on that link, it'll open the form again with all of your progress saved, so you can continue working on that entry. Now, those links by default are valid for 30 days. But if you need that to be valid for longer, I believe there is a hook or something you can use to overwrite that default. So that feature should work really well for you. And then also wanted to highlight, if you have a multi-step process where you have multiple people filling out entries or reviewing entries, consider GravityFlow. That is another add-on for Gravity Forms, and it's built specifically for this kind of process, business processes. So you can have multiple steps involved in, like filling out an entry, sending it to somebody else for approval, and then they send it to somebody else, and you have this kind of multi-step process. So gravityflow.io, definitely look into that. It might be very helpful for your use case. And then let's see, the second part of the question. Yeah, so the second part of the question is, they have about 10 adjudicators who would mark about 10 entries each. Can they access the relevant entries allocated to them only for marking purposes? Yeah, so you can do that. If you're using GravityView, for example, you can actually restrict access in GravityView so that each adjudicator or user only sees the entries that are assigned to them. And you can set that up in GravityView using our advanced filtering extension, which comes with GravityView Pro. It allows you to do really kind of granular filtering, and you can make sure that users only have access to entries that are assigned to them. And then the final question was about the fact that they are a nonprofit, and they are very much concerned about security and wondering, is GravityKit secure, and is it GDPR compliant? And yeah, I mean, so GravityKit products absolutely, are secure. We have a team of very dedicated developers who are working on the software all the time. As far as GDPR compliance and things like that, GravityKit products are WordPress plugins. So if with a WordPress site, you retain full control over all of your data. Nothing gets sent or shared with us. It's all self-hosted on your website. So to really dig into the kind of the details of security and GDPR compliance, especially GDPR compliance, you'll need to check with your hosting and your website setup and things like that. But Gravity Forms, GravityKit definitely provide the tools needed to support these kinds of requirements. And we have found many of our customers are nonprofits. They're looking for affordable ways to manage data and get organized, and they found a lot of success using our tools. And then, Zack, did you want to just quickly mention PatchStack and the work that they're doing over there?
Yeah, sure. Before I do, though, Gravity Forms has their own documentation on GDPR compliance, and more information on that, including how to collect consent and data requests and things like that. They have really good ways to allow users to delete all their data, which is really nice. And we integrate with that functionality as well. So when the entry is deleted on the Gravity Forms side, it's no longer on GravityKit as well. So in terms of security, GravityView, GravityKit are as secure as we can make them. And if you find anything that, if you encounter any security issues, though, we do have a vulnerability disclosure process using PatchStack. So if you go to patchstack.com if you go to patchstack.com, search for GravityView, you will find that we are part of that program, and that is the correct way to check out to expose security issues that you find with GravityKit, and that way you don't have to email, which email is inherently insecure. So we do have some security automation set up so that before any code is merged into our plugins, we review that manually. We look at every line of code that's added to our plugins, and then we also have an automated setup that reviews for code quality and security as well. And then we also have code quality standards that are checked against WordPress.org for some of our plugins. We're in the process of adding that for all of our plugins. So we try to be as secure as possible. We are way more secure than probably a lot of plugins out there. We do coding best practices with escaping sanitizing inputs and sanitizing outputs and doing all the right stuff. So hopefully we are very secure, but it is software, so there's always bugs. And there we have the patchstack.com program if you find any.
Cool. So that addresses all of the questions that were submitted ahead of time.
Yep.
And yeah, I think we got to everything.
And we do, Casey, have a nonprofit discount. I don't know if y'all know about that. If you're a nonprofit, go to hold on, I'm grabbing the link. But we have a nonprofit discount that allows you to get a bigger discount than our first year discount, and it's instead of only the first year, for nonprofits it's every year. So you don't pay the
right.
Yeah, you only pay a limited amount for a nonprofit pricing.
Yeah, there's just a simple form you can submit. You just have to include some information about your nonprofit status. That'll get sent through to our team, and then they will approve that permanent discount for you.
Yeah, so gravitykit.com/apply-for-nonprofit-pricing. And Christina writes, thanks for supporting us nonprofits. We really appreciate it. Well, we really appreciate what you all do. As I've said many a time, my wife ran a nonprofit for years, and I got a peek into how much effort it takes just to pay one bill. And it's incredible what nonprofits are able to do, and nonprofits are more important now than ever. So thank you all for your work.
Yeah, totally.
Cool. Well, that's our GravityKit Live. It's going to be a great year, Casey. I really do think that 2026 is going to be a banner year for GravityKit. We have so many different things, and that we could work on, and I can't wait to get started on them and figure out what our roadmap is going to be, and share that with the world and get started on working on it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think we've hit the ground running with some great updates already, and we've got a lot more cool stuff coming down the pipe. So also really excited, and I'm sure we're going to have plenty more to share on future GravityKit Lives.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us, everybody, and can't wait to see you next time on GravityKit Live.